Hey, everybody, welcome back for episode 8 of the Standout Media podcast. I am one of your hosts, Mr. Jantix, joined as always by my co host, Rozoku.
Hey guys, how we doing?
And we have some breaking news kind of to start off the start of our episode. Something happened about 15 minutes ago. So I'm not even sure if you heard about this.
No.
The entire staff of gaming publisher Annapurna Interactive have left the company.
Oh wow.
So, following a dispute with the owners, so per a report from Bloomberg, the entire team pretty much quit just a few minutes ago after a dispute with the owner. The dispute came after failed negotiations for Annapurna Interactive to be spun out from the parent company of Annapurna. And if you don't know who that company is, some of their most known titles are What Remains of Edith Finch, Outer Wilds, Kentucky Route Zero, and Stray. Those are like kind of their big popular ones.
Yeah, those are good games too.
Yeah, I've played 2 out of 4 of those, but I know of all of
I
them.
played Kentucky Route Zero and Stray, but I've heard of all of them.
I've played Edith Finch and Outer Wilds, which were both really good as well.
Well, is Edith? No, I've played Outer Wilds and Edith Finch. I think Edith Finch is the one where you're walking through the house. Yeah.
Yep, and you go through like
Yeah.
your family's like
Right. Yeah. Okay.
kind of weird but really good story.
Yeah.
And then yeah, Outer Wilds is just you're a little dude with a little spaceship flying to little planets.
Heck yeah.
It's really fun. That one had a cool twist in it too.
Oh yeah. That's crazy though. No, I didn't know about that. I'll have to look that up.
Yeah, so the owner's name is Megan Ellison, I believe. Um, they had been in discussions with Annapurna Interactive president Nathan Gary to spin it out as a separate unit from its parent company. After Ellison left negotiations, Gary resigned, followed by the entirety of the publisher's staff. So it sounds like the owner said, I'm leaving because we're not coming to anything, and then he quit, and his entire staff quit shortly after. Ellison, who is the owner, said, quote, our top priority is continuing to support our developer and publishing partners during this transition. We're committed to not only our existing slate of games, but also expanding our presence in the interactive space as we continue to look for opportunities to take a more integrated approach to linear and interactive storytelling across film and TV, gaming, and theater, end quote. So, yeah. I like how the article I'm reading from is Windows Central, and they're poking fun saying, it's unclear what this means, as gaming publishers generally need staff in order to publish games.
I mean, yeah, that's true.
According to Bloomberg, Annapurna Interactive's new president, Hector Sanchez, plans to hire in order to replace all the team members that have departed. This comes shortly
after. Form their own studio. Sorry.
No. Yeah. No, you're good. That would make sense. Hopefully they can get some type of funding or get picked up by somebody and start a whole new publishing label. That's kind of hard for a publisher to spin off, more so than just a developer.
Yeah.
Because you're not making the games. Yep.
There's also Annapurna Pictures, which did, I think, Remedy and Control 2.
That's what I was going to read.
Yeah.
Yep. Remedy Entertainment reached a deal with Annapurna to produce film and TV versions of Alan Wake and Control, while Annapurna Interactive will be helping to finance Control 2. This is a separate deal that is not affected by the current chaos.
Yeah. That's interesting.
The company the Interactive branch was founded in 2016, and they focus on publishing, And then
I mean, I'm glad they stand up for themselves and they actually did that, you know?
yeah. Oh, another game they published was Cocoon, which came out recently.
Oh, I don't know about Cocoon. I haven't played that one.
Yeah, that's on Game Pass. So that's interesting.
Interesting. I'll have to look that up. Play it a little bit if it's on Game Pass.
Yeah, this is.
But I don't know if I want to give them money anymore, you know? Give them downloads, you know?
Yeah, but I don't think it's going to them. They're just the publisher, and it's on Game Pass. It's a weird one.
Yeah, that's a weird thing.
It's super interesting. This news just broke, well, maybe a half an hour ago at this point, so
Yeah.
there'll probably be more. It looks like Bloomberg's the one that first found out about it, so it's gonna be probably getting a bunch of articles and stuff. Maybe some more information coming out soon. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled on that, and hope they all land on their feet. I hope either they all get hired, like the whole team gets hired somewhere, or they are able to start their own publishing label somewhere and be successful. You know.
Yeah.
So more bad news. Just keep on the bad news. Earlier today, Xbox laid off more people.
Yeah, 650 jobs.
Yep. Redundancies. Yeah,
Mostly in
redundancies.
corporate and support, so that's.
It
I
was
mean, it's not good, but it's okay.
all corporate functions, specifically HR, finance, and marketing, are like the three main ones.
Yeah.
No devices are being canceled. No studios are being closed. So yeah, that another sucky suck that brings Microsoft up to, or sorry, Xbox up to like 2,500 people laid off
Yep.
so far this year, because they did 1,900 a few months ago. Now actually
Yeah.
650.
That was across Activision, Xbox, Bethesda, and Blizzard.
Yeah, this 650 is also across multiple. It's all redundancies, so multiple people hired for the same job from when they bought studios. This is more in line with what usually happens after an acquisition. I think the 1900 one was more of a trying to save money. This is probably more of a they finally integrated all the teams together, and now it's like we have three people doing the same job. We need to let go of a bunch of them. It still
Remember
sucks.
back in May too, they got rid of what is it? Arcane Austin, Tango GameWorks. They got rid of
the mobile publisher.
Red House Studios. Yeah.
Yeah, Red House. And there's a fourth one that they.
Red House got folded into ZeniMax Online, and Tango GameWorks, I guess.
Tango got completely shut down, but the PUBG publisher, I can't remember the parent company for PUBG, bought the company and the rights to Hi-Fi Rush. Yeah. They essentially, they're in talks with Microsoft to acquire the company and acquire the rights to future Hi-Fi Rush titles. I don't think they're going to get the current Hi-Fi Rush, but so there's still hope for sequels there. Yeah, just it sucks. Phil Spencer let a fairly long email. You can find it online if you want to read up what he said about today's layoffs. It still sucks. This one's a little bit more understandable than the other one.
Right.
But I mean, layoffs are always bad for the workers, you know?
Oh, yeah.
So, that's enough sad talk. Do you have any other news? Or actually, you know what? I didn't even ask how you were. I kind of just jumped right into the news.
Hey, no, that's great. I'm fine.
How are you today?
I mean, I'm better than I still have a job, so that's one thing, I guess.
That's fair enough.
Yeah. No, I don't know. So I do a little bit of video game collecting, right?
Okay.
And there's a game called Rule of Rose that was on the PS2.
Okay.
This game is super hard to find because they didn't really make a lot of them, and in the UK it was never officially released, so the UK versions are crazy expensive. It turns out they found a warehouse full of Rule of Rose.
What?
Yeah, it was discovered in Italy. A
In-
sealed shipment of the UK version was discovered in Italy. So it dropped. I mean, it's still a crazy expensive game. So before they found this, they were going from anywhere from like $500 to $700
okay.
for
Like a sealed copy?
a complete sealed copy.
Okay.
Now it dropped down to about $300, which is still a lot for a game.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that's an insane like,
That's
oh
half.
hey, we found this. Yeah.
Yeah, cut the price by 50. Speaking of insane game prices, did you see what's happening with Concord?
No, what's going on? Was it what I expected? Did it go up in price?
Yeah, there people are selling them online for over $100 now for sealed copies.
Hey.
And the controllers, because if you didn't
Oh
know,
yeah.
they came out with Concord PlayStation DualShock
Yep.
5
They
controllers.
it's the same deal with Xbox. Xbox released a super limited Sea of Thieves edition controller,
Don't forget the
and that thing
Redfall
goes for
controller.
big money too. Yep, there's a Redfall. There's also an Astrobot controller that they released.
Is there an Astropod? I thought that was a rumor.
There is no. There's an Astrobot controller.
Yeah. Well, the Concord controller is selling right now for over $200.
Hey.
So, I mean, if you bought that and you regret life, you can make some money back. So, you get the full refund on the game, plus you can sell it online for more than you bought
Yeah.
it.
Exactly. I mean, it's not a bad looking controller either. Like, I like the way that looks.
It looked pretty generic to me.
Really?
Which
You didn't like the art style?
maybe let me look it up again because I looked up earlier.
Look that thing up. It's done with like 3D framework kind of thing, or 2D framework, I guess.
Let's see. I'm gonna look it up. Load in. Oh, okay. That is pretty cool looking. It reminds me of
Yeah, I
Starfield
like the way it
controller.
looks. Yeah, exactly. Same kind of color scheme. You know,
Oh, you know one thing I hate about the PlayStation controller designs though?
what's up?
It looks like it's just a sticker.
Oh yeah,
It looks
I get that.
like with Xbox, it covers like the entire front of the controller. This is like little stickers on the left and it doesn't even cover the entire front. Man. Yeah, so on the website, on the official PlayStation store, the controller is sold for 85. So that means
Oh
if you bought it, you can make almost triple because it's selling for
yeah,
over
nice.
200 right now.
Pretty good.
I guess.
Um, before we get into big Sony news, uh, the Black Ops Call of Duty 6 beta, they've claimed that's the biggest beta in Call of Duty history.
Literally the
So
tab
that's
I have
pretty
open
cool.
right now.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
But yeah, the for total number of players, total number of hours played, and most matches played.
Also, most
Um,
playtime per player as well.
oh really? So yeah,
Yeah.
they left that part off. But weekend two just ended.
Yep.
September 9th.
Yep.
Yeah.
I hit max level both weekends.
Oh, nice.
So I have all the unlockables.
Good, good.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I know everybody was saying that like, oh, it's full of hackers and this and that, and I didn't run across any. I don't think there was a little bit of lag issues the first weekend on the first maybe second day.
Right.
But the second weekend I didn't run into any of that, and the Omni movement isn't as bad as I anticipated. It feels really well, and it's kind of easy to tell where people are gonna go once you play a few rounds. So it's not like I know there's some people doing crazy montages online. I'm in pretty high lobbies, and people are not doing that kind of stuff in my lobbies. So I mean, that's like insane, like really good streamer level lobbies that people are doing that in. So
Right.
um, yeah, that comes out October 25th, so that's coming up real quick. That's it's like a month and a week away.
Yeah. That'll be
Uh,
that'll be something.
Also,
Uh,
I know I think we've said this like a couple times, but day one on Game Pass Ultimate.
oh, see, that's pretty cool. I'll have to download it on Game Pass because I haven't I skipped this beta. I shouldn't have because it's pretty good from everything I've heard about it.
Yeah.
Um, but I haven't played a Call of Duty game since Black Ops 2, 3.
Oh.
It's
Uh,
been a minute.
Modern Warfare 3, last year's Call of Duty, is on Game Pass right now. They dropped that last month, or I guess 2 months ago. That was like late July, super early August. So that one's currently on Game Pass if you want to try to get in and play to remember the buttons a little bit.
Yeah.
That one has a lot of old maps in it too, because it's kind of just a remaster. And then yeah, the new one's coming out. So if you have Game Pass Ultimate, it's not on Game Pass console. I think Modern Warfare 3 is on console. But going forward, day one games are not on console. They're only on Ultimate and PC Game Pass, I believe. I forget how they all worked all that stuff out. It's super complicated.
You got me.
I keep mine at Ultimate, so I don't pay too much attention to the lower tiers.
Yeah, those plebs.
Yeah, pretty much. Let's see what else. I got a bunch of news today, so I mean, if you have stuff, go for it, or I can just start
Go ahead.
bouncing through.
I have stuff whenever you start talking about the PS5 Pro.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna save that for last, maybe keep people,
that's fine.
sticking around.
No, you're good.
So Baldur's Gate 3 last week. Trying to think of how to word this. They added in a mod manager to make it like super easy to add mods on the game. That was included with patch 7. I think this works with console as well as PC. But think of, if you play Bethesda games, think of like Creation Club, how you just like in the game can open up a secondary menu like inside the game, so you don't have to leave the game at all. You just search mods. They announced on the first day they had over 1 million mods installed.
Jeez.
So they had over 1 million mods installed in less than 24 hours.
That's insane.
Yeah, like the article I'm reading, they're showcasing some of them. There's one where, oh crap, what's his name? My wife would kill me. The vampire dude, Asterion.
Oh yeah, Asterion. Yeah.
There's one where you can make him have the body of a child.
Oh no! Why?
It's really funny looking. Because why not?
I mean, I guess
you can do it with all your companions. So it almost makes them look like dwarvish.
Okay.
But with Asterion, for some reason, just with him, he looks like a child. Like all the other ones are like a little bit more dwarvish looking. But it's really funny, the picture. But yeah, the mods are like straight in the game. So you just, when you're in the main menu, you just go over to Mod Manager and start downloading away. You can also I'm trying to think. So okay, it's only on Steam right now. It's not on console.
Yeah. Because you figure console mods take longer to come out with,
Yeah. Hold on, I'm just reading through here. It will be coming to console soon, as developer Larian said. They want a robust cross-platform plan for the mod support. So they're trying to get it to work across systems, since the game is a cross-save game. Obviously, right now, if you have a modded PC save, it's not going to cross over because mods aren't supported on console yet. So if you're one of those people that switch back and forth, just be aware of that. There's also, with that update, they added a bunch of other stuff. So they have 13 new endings, all evil.
Oh, wow.
There is a new one night stand companion. And there's a bunch of other stuff, some updates and improvements to split screen gameplay, man. And then just some other quality of life updates and a couple other things. So if you're a fan of Baldur's Gate, adding more stuff, they're keeping up with this. So, you know, always good to see that for a award-winning game as that is.
Oh yeah.
Then this one's a little bit of a tech story, but it's involved with gaming. AMD confirms the Z2 Extreme chip, which, if you know, the ROG Ally and I think the Lenovo Legion Go both use the Z1 chip. So the Z2 is supposedly a lot better. I'm trying to read if I can find like actual specs. So
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, so they're both using Z1 Extreme on the handhelds. The next generation Z2 Extreme is coming out soon. On the old chip, games would go from 100% to 0% in less than an hour on battery.
Jeez.
But this new one, it will able to push high-end graphics from lasting 45 minutes to lasting over 3 hours, which is over a 300% increase in performance.
That's insane. That's pretty crazy, man.
They haven't announced too much on it, just that it's like 300+% better. And they also said they're going to release a lot more about it next year. I'm still reading through the article. Yeah, so yeah. That's going to be coming out probably end of next year, which is going to make the ROG Ally 2, which I'm sure is going to probably be using the next one.
Right.
Probably make that insane. I mean, that handheld, that's what we have, is the ROG Ally. And my wife loves it. It's a great little device. I played a little bit on it, and it runs games really well. I do wish the screen was OLED, but it runs it's a variable refresh rate screen, runs like really high frame rate. I think it's only like 1080p, but on that small of a screen doesn't really matter. And for Windows 11, so.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, some possible crazy things happening in the handheld market.
Razer has a new controller that they're coming out with. That's pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
The V2 Pro for PS5 and PC. My wife was.
You're breaking up a little bit.
Try that out pretty well.
Can you repeat what you just said? It broke up a little bit.
Oh yeah, sure. So Razer is having the Wolverine V2 is a new Pro controller that they're releasing for PC, PS5, and Xbox, and it looks pretty sweet.
That's pretty sick.
I don't know if you ever got to play with one of those before, but the Wolverine is a super awesome Pro style controller. So what I mean by that is it has extra back buttons. So instead of just the standard face buttons, 2 analog sticks and a D stick, you also get 4 back action buttons that you can program to whatever you want to.
Okay. Yeah, I think
your thumbs never have to leave the sticks.
I think I played with the first Wolverine controller when it came out at like a store or something, or at a friend's house maybe. But that's always cool to see them doing things and coming out with more stuff.
But yeah, that's gonna be nice whenever that comes out.
Yeah, I did see they're coming out with an Xbox version as well. I think we talked about that last week actually. So
Think so? I can't remember.
I can't either. Let's see. Let's see. All right. Destiny 2, as my gameplay right now is Destiny 1. I'm a little bit outdated there, but the man, I can't talk. It's like September 9th, which was the 10-year anniversary of Destiny releasing. And they had a little fireside talk, fire chat, developer, whatever they call it, where they sat down and, explained some stuff, and they released a roadmap of things coming in the future. So yeah, 10 years since that game came out, which is crazy because I played it hardcore for years, and it feels like it's been 10 years since I dropped off of playing it. But yeah, they announced 2 expansions for the game coming in 2025. So one coming first half, one coming second half. They said there would be 4 major updates that would be released. So every 3 months, there's going to be a quote unquote major update. The 2 expansions, Apollo and Behemoth, which are code names, I'm assuming. They're like medium-sized expansions, so they're kind of gonna move away from large-size expansions, like the one that happened this year, which the name is completely, is it Frontiers? No, whichever expansion just came out for the game. They're moving away from the giant ones, and they're coming out with medium-sized ones twice a year. The Final Shape was the name of the expansion.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm trying to find. There it is. Okay. I found the actual image of the roadmap. Can I expand it? Yes. So, expansion codename Apollo season starts in summer 2025. Major update coming summer 2025. Comes with a reward pass, so aka battle pass. Fall 2025. Major update codename Surge. Oh, sorry. Summer one is codenamed Arsenal. Fall codename Surge. Another battle pass. The season is available to all players, but the reward pass, they don't explicitly say, but I'm assuming that's paid. So sounds like they're going to do more free-to-play stuff. If you didn't know, Destiny 2 is free-to-play. It's just the expansions have cost money. Then coming winter 2025. Major update. No codename for that. But there is a rewards pass. This is all part of codename Behemoth. And then spring 2026 is another major update with another reward pass. So starting summer 2025, they're going to have these things. Might be a little bit of a drought up until then. Let's see. They have a little explainer over here. Expansion means new stories, new locations, new missions, new weapons, new gear, new raids and dungeons. And then the seasonal update, which is every 3 months. So the expansions are 6 months. Seasons are 3 months. This is very confusing. Seasonal update. New and reprised activities, new gear and artifact mods, new modifiers and challenges, new sandbox meta, and new events. And that's everything. This picture makes it look a little bit better. I'll send you the picture. Let me copy.
Yeah, sure.
But essentially, expansions coming every 6 months with smaller, quote unquote, major updates coming every 3 months. Expansions are going to have new locations, new maps, new weapons, gear, raids, all that good stuff. And then the major updates are going to have new activities, more gear, modifiers and challenges and events. So no crazy large expansions that are like going to be huge storylines. But they are
No,
going to
but it's
continue
good
the
that they're
story.
still expanding the game. You know.
Yeah, they're still going to do stories. They're still going to do stuff. It's just going to be smaller scale, so that way they can do it throughout the year instead of having one giant drop and then kind of being content light for the next 12 months. Actually, it's been more
Yeah.
like 15 months. It's been like a little over a year every expansion.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you're in the Destiny, seems like good news coming starting next year. So it might be a little bit of a lull in between, but you know, there's plenty of other games. And then another game released a kind of a roadmap, which is Mojang released a Minecraft thing as well. I'll keep this a little bit more brief. It was a community update. They teased future plans for Minecraft, and one of those teases is that they're gonna also have more frequent updates. They're getting rid of the nefarious mob vote due to community feedback and everybody pretty much collectively hating the mob vote. They're coming out with an official PS5 version, which, if you would have asked me if they had one, I would have said yes, there is a PS5 version, but I guess there isn't. So they're going to have an official PS5 native version coming.
Oh boy! Finally, I can play Minecraft in 4K, 60 frames a second.
No, you're not.
Oh man!
I didn't say PS5 Pro. Let's quickly run through the rest of this article.
Yeah.
If you've played Minecraft or have been following it at all, it's notoriously very slow on coming out with updates. And then when they do, it's nothing crazy. I mean, it's a sandbox game, so it's not like you're going to have crazy lore dumps or stories. There is lore to Minecraft, which is hilarious.
Well,
to
yeah,
me.
that's why there's a whole movie coming out about it.
We don't talk about that. Game Theory does stuff on the lore, and it's very interesting. That's kind of it. Nothing too crazy. Just, you know, they're gonna do updates more often, so that way it's not years as in like a small update.
Yeah.
They want more community feedback, and they're trying to listen to community feedback. PS5 version is going to be just better stability and performance, but it's not gonna have anything crazy. It's not gonna have ray tracing, not gonna have anything like that. It's pretty much just gonna be on par with the Xbox version.
I can't imagine ray tracing in Minecraft.
They have it on the PC version.
Do they really? Oh no!
They've had it for years on PC
I
version.
haven't looked. Oh no!
They have 4K ray tracing.
Having the Minecraft graphics, you know what I mean?
You need to look up some Minecraft ray tracing.
No.
It's you think of Minecraft and you will be blown away because it still looks exactly how you would think Minecraft looks, but it looks really good. It's insane. So yeah, look up a video of that when you have time because it's crazy.
Yeah, I will.
So yeah, nothing too crazy there, just a couple updates. Do you want to jump into the PS5 stuff?
Yeah, no? Sure.
All right. I'll let you kick it off.
Oh, so Sony announced the PS5 Pro is coming out. I didn't look too deep into it because once I heard the price point of $700, I was kind of put off, I'd say.
That's a good way to put it.
I mean, they didn't announce anything else with it, so with no big IP to go with that PS5 Pro, there's no real reason for me to buy it.
Yeah, so $700. That's in the US. It's more expensive outside the US.
Yeah.
In the UK,
I have a story on that too.
Yeah, in the UK alone, the price is $920 base.
Yep.
So that $700 gets you just the PS5, which they add AI, and they add a slightly better. It's the same GPU, but it's slightly larger, so it's slightly faster.
They take away the disc tray.
They take away the disc tray, so it still is not promised 4K 60. It is still not able to hit that on a lot of games. It's still a target, so pretty much same boat as PS5 is right now. This tray is $80.
It's so
Um, it doesn't come with a stand, so if you want to have it
nope.
stand up,
And it's extra too.
that's
Yep.
an extra $30. So you're looking at $810 for a vertical standing PS5 Pro with the disk drive.
Now, I will say this PlayStation is adjusted for inflation, of course, the third most expensive console PlayStation's ever put out.
I thought it was the second, and that's
No,
if you
it's the
don't
third.
include
So I have a list here. So the PS1 in 1995 cost you 300 American dollars, which adjusted for inflation is $616. The PS2 that came out in the year of our Lord 2000 was $300 as well, which adjusted for inflation makes it $542. The PS3 was $600 whenever it came out in 2006 for the 60 gig model, the high end, nice model. That adjusted for inflation is $937. The PS4, which came out in 2013, was $400, which adjusted for inflation makes it $540. The PS4 Pro, which came out in 2016, was $400, and adjusted for inflation makes it $523. And standard PS5 with the disc is 500. Without the disc, I think it was 450, somewhere in there, which that hasn't really needed to be adjusted for inflation because that only came out 4 years ago.
yeah, so that would make this the second most because only one of them was over 700.
No, the PS3, they actually had two different models of that, the 20 gig and the 60 gig. The 20 gig adjusted for inflation is $781.
Oh,
The
I see.
60 gig is $937. Later on, they came out with a larger PS3 model, which I'm gonna guess was
The Pro.
around that same 200 or so dollar, yeah, something like that. But it's behind the PS3 and the PS1. No, not PS1. Sorry, it's third place behind the PS3.
So they count the two PS3 SKUs as first and second.
Well, because there were two generations of PS3, if you remember, there was a fat one and a slim one, and there was even a third generation as well as a super slim model.
Yeah, I was gonna say the PS3 Slim was only $300 when it released.
Right.
So that's adjusted inflation as like less than 500.
It's like 500 and some dollars, yeah.
It's
But the PS3,
yeah,
I think whenever it first came out, there were three models. There was a 2060 and an 80. And then the second generation PS3 came out in 2008, I want to say. That one, there was a 120 gig and a 500 gig, if I remember right. I could be wrong.
Man, I don't remember that at all. This IGN article doesn't have any of that.
Oh no, this was prime me working at GameStop, so I knew what was coming out and when it was coming out. So the PS3 had three different model cycles. There was the original fat PS3 that came in 2060 and 80.
Yep.
There was the second gen PS3 that came in 120 and 320 gigabytes and 500 gigabytes as a certain model. And then there was the super slim model that came out that had a 500 gig hard drive attached to it.
Interesting. See, I knew about the regular and the slim, but I wasn't into PlayStation at that point. I went to Xbox.
The super slim was interesting because the standard PS3 and the slimline PS3 both had a disc tray where you'd set like it is now, where you kind of insert the disc and it takes it the rest of the way. The super slim actually had a
slide on top, right?
A slider, yeah, that wasn't mechanized in any way. So you would just hit a button, it would pop open, put your disc in, you'd slide it shut manually, and then go from there.
Interesting. I just looked up the Wikipedia, and yeah, I vaguely remember that now.
Oh yeah.
Like, I definitely remember the slim and the fat boy.
Right. Nobody remembers that third console because it came out in the last couple years of its life,
The super slim came out in late 2012.
Yeah, and when did the PS4 come out?
2014?
Yeah,
2013?
so it was nearing the end of its life, you know.
2013. So yeah, a year.
So yeah, so it was near the end. Nobody really, because you didn't get any kind of graphics upgrade, or you only got that kind of hard drive upgrade if you went with a 500 gig, and you got a smaller console overall. So people didn't really mess with that too much, you know.
Yeah, this is. I think I had one friend that had one of those, and I was like, oh, that's weird.
They made a blue one, which was super cool, but that's kind of
Even the Wikipedia doesn't have like any information on it. It's like a paragraph, and it's like, yeah, this thing came out and it wasn't available in some regions.
yep, exactly. That's it. It nobody really it. It was like a last ditch effort kind of thing because Microsoft was selling them so handily with the Xbox 360.
Yeah,
And at that time, the 360 was on its third model as well, the E model,
I remember. Yeah,
which,
all the
yeah,
different models for
which,
360.
oh yeah,
Do you remember
which
the
the E
model they
model,
released at the same time as the Xbox One
yes,
that had the
that's
same
the E
color
model.
scheme? Yeah,
That's the,
they
yeah,
came out at the same time. I was like, why would you
so
release?
dumb. And it didn't have anything extra. It was like, oh boy,
Yeah,
they changed out the power supply, and the people were still using composite back then instead of
yep,
HDMI.
yep.
So the cables were completely different than everything else, and that was a whole big thing with tech support too. Um, was trying to figure out what console people had whenever I tried to help them over the phone. The biggest thing was like, okay, what color is it? Maybe that could help. Because for the 360, you know how those were white, the elites were black, and then everything else just wound up being black. So asking the color kind of helped out a little bit, but those were certainly times that I lived in.
Yeah, definitely interesting. The most overpriced console ever sold.
Oh yeah.
Maybe not,
I
but
maybe not. I mean, it's all
there were
uh
some like Ataris and stuff that were really expensive
oh
back in the
yeah.
day.
The Atari Jaguar, the last one that they released with 32 gigabyte or 32-bit graphics, that thing inflated for adjustment is fucking
Thousands.
$1,200.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry for language, but um, in other news though, Sony will soon start selling refurbished PS5 consoles through their website. So you'll actually be able to pick up a digital edition PS5 for $349 or a disc version for $399.
Is
Those are
that
going to be refurbished through Sony, so that'll be interesting to see what they do.
is that the classic or the slim?
No, that's the standard PS5. So
Okay.
the
Because I
first
know
release model.
they stopped production of the standard PS5 in the fall.
Oh, whenever that new
So now
slimmer
it's
version came out, yeah.
yeah. So they stopped production, but they still had a bunch left over, I guess. So they still are selling through it in some areas. But now it's just the slim model, and if I remember right, they're mostly selling just diskless, and that you also have to spend $80 on a disk drive.
I mean, yeah,
So
if you want a disc though, that's the thing with these now that everything's going since everything is moving more digital. I don't see the need, like the next wave of consoles that's going to come out. I don't see them having a disk drive,
nope.
or if they do something without a disk drive, making a disk drive for an additional cost like what Sony's doing.
I see Xbox, since they own Windows, I see them just doing a diskless console and with the option to plug in a USB-C type disk drive, like
Yeah.
any over-the-counter that can read
Oh,
up to
yeah.
X amount.
Like a Blu-ray or something like that, a Blu-ray player maybe.
I don't even know if they'll require it to be Blu-ray, but yeah,
Well, I can see them doing their own thing because Microsoft has done something like this in the past. If you remember with the 360,
the
so
HD
whenever,
HD drive.
yeah, I was gonna say young people might not remember the fight between HD DVD and Blu-ray, but Microsoft went HD DVD and they sold an external disk drive that you plugged into your Xbox 360 to play these HD DVDs. Where PlayStation from the jump with the PS3 went straight Blu-ray all the way.
Yes.
And as you know now, Blu-ray has the one that is one out over HD DVD.
Yes. What's interesting about that is PlayStation owns the right for Blu-ray, so Xbox pays a small fee for every Blu-ray drive. I don't know if they still do, but I know on the Xbox One,
Interesting. Yeah.
they paid a small licensing fee for every Blu-ray drive they put in a console, if I remember correctly.
Oh, I didn't
And
know that. That's pretty cool.
do you know why Blu-ray run one out over the HD DVD drive?
So this is a contested point.
Okay,
Uh, Initially, it was because everybody said that X-rated content went to Blu-ray, but
yeah.
X-rated content actually started out on HD DVD. They went to them first before Blu-ray.
Yes. See, that's what I've heard as well. So,
I remember thinking HD was going to be the thing because that article, whenever that came, that was years and years ago.
yeah, a decade ago at least.
Whenever, yeah, whenever an article came out saying, "Oh man, HD's in the lead because they're the first ones to put out this
Erotic stuff.
adult film," yeah. But then, yeah, everybody just went Blu-ray, and it's like, all right, cool.
Yeah, Blu-ray was just more widely available. So people started buying it more, and because of that, it just started this spiral of it was more available, so more people bought it, so more people supported it, which meant more people bought it, which meant more people, just on and on until HD DVDs were non-existent.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And kids, remember this also happened with Laserdisc and Betamax.
Oh God.
There's always been competing video styles. Right now, I think it's between streaming and physical media. My vote's for physical media. So
right now it's USB-C versus Lightning cable.
Oh, bro, USB-C is so much better.
Except for if you're Apple and you purposely put in 10-year-old USB-C cables.
I know, but that's Apple, man. That's their fault. Like,
to be fair, if they're gonna cheap out somewhere on their phones, not many people with iPhones probably like everybody I see has one of those like wireless MagSafe cases on there, and they're probably all wireless charging them.
True. I mean, I wireless charge my Fold 5, but
that's what I do as well. I got one at my bedside table and one at my office. So
office, it's plugged into the computer, so I can do all my stuff on my computer. And then next to the bed is a wireless charger.
Yep, that's what I have. Let's see. I had a bunch of PS5 Pro articles opened. Did you see that they were blaming
the PS5 Pro? That's
people are blaming Xbox for the high price tag.
But the Xbox is cheaper? Question mark?
They're saying because Xbox isn't a competitor, PlayStation feels that they are justified. So people are blaming Xbox for it for not being a competitor.
But how are they not a competitor, though? Xbox actually has games you can play.
These are the same people who just a few months ago were saying that Xbox was a monopoly because they bought ABK. So I don't know how much you can believe them. So it's more of a meme at this point. Just some crazy people online.
I did see a meme that was PS5 Pro versus the Virtual Boy from Nintendo. And it's like, oh, Virtual Boy had 122 games. How many games does the PS5 have?
Yeah. So,
which, if you don't know about the Virtual Boy, it was Nintendo's first foray into virtual reality. I had one for the longest time and wound up selling it. I still have a few games for it. Nestor's Funky Bowling was my favorite. There was Wario Woods, and a few other like really fun games, but it gave you a massive headache from playing it for too long. It came with its own stand. Think like the VR we have now, but from the 80s.
Yeah. Honestly, the tech kind of looks similar, which is crazy.
I know. It's the same size. Like they haven't changed the size of it. The only thing they added now is a head strap, I guess, so you can bolt it to your face.
Yeah. PS5 Pro. If you haven't seen it, it looks like the Slim, but with a couple more racing stripes. Where the Slim has the one, this one has three.
Hey, those vents are for airflow, I'm assuming. I hope they actually do something. Otherwise, it's just a
It,
weird design choice.
it's racing stripes because it looks cool. Um, Analysts are saying that they predict it to be about 10% of all PlayStation sales by end of. So 10% of every PlayStation sold will be a Pro by end of life cycle, which is similar to what the PS4 Pro is, which I think is a little bit high. PlayStation. Was this PlayStation or was this analyst? Pretty much came out and said that. No, it was an analyst. Pretty much saying that this is Sony seeking to offset supply chain inflation and boost its own margins. Details shared by Sony itself with investors suggest PlayStation is struggling with its margins due to a difficult macroeconomic climate, decreased playtime hours and spending, and supply chain issues affecting hardware across the board. So yeah, essentially they're just trying to price it so they can sell this console at a profit.
Yeah.
And part of the reason why it's more expensive across the world and not the US is because they only consider Xbox a competitor in the US and they don't consider them a competitor in the rest of the world.
You have to remember too, whenever companies like this sell their console, they have to make money, and the companies that sell it also have to make money. I remember whenever I worked at GameStop, selling a new console netted us like 10%, I think, of gross sale on it. That was what our profit margin was. So it's not a huge amount. So even this coming out at $700 means they're not making a huge, profits on this thing.
Yeah. And historically, consoles have been sold at sometimes a loss, usually at or just above profit line.
Yep.
There's been a bunch of reports about that. So, I mean, if you don't believe me, just go look it up.
Oh no, I believe you. Like,
I'm not saying you, I'm saying anybody in the audience. Because I've
oh,
had people
yeah,
tell me
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
crazy for that. And then I'm like, here's a bunch of articles about it. And they're like, nope.
No.
And I'm like,
Oh,
okay.
that's like cars too. Cars are the same way. Whenever
Well,
those
some
mega
cars.
and hypercars come out, yeah, I'm talking more about like the Bugatti Veyron. Whenever that came out, they were losing, I think, $1 million or more per car sold, and that car, whenever it came out, was
Like
$2 million.
2.2? I think 2.2.
Yeah, something insane.
McLaren? No.
No, McLaren makes profit on their stuff. It's the
Rivian.
VW Auto Group. Yeah, or those
Rivian
guys.
loses money on every car sold,
Yep,
which is
which is
insane.
crazy.
Yeah. And they're selling them for, I mean, it's the SUV for $80,000 base.
Yep.
So, craziness.
Oh, in other car news, I don't know if you care about this or not, but VW has purchased the rights to recreate the International Scout, which was a truck brand in the early 60s and 70s. Think like a Bronco, only better. This was
No
made
such thing.
before that. No, this was made before that. Whenever
No, no.
people wanted affordable 4x4s with quote unquote luxury, they went to the International brand, which made
I'm,
the Scout and the Harvester.
I
They're
think I
bringing
remember
back the
that.
Scout. They're bringing it back as an electric vehicle. It looks really cool. I don't know if you've seen anything on it, but it looks
I
pretty
think I did. I'm gonna
sweet.
look it up. International Scout. Yes, I did hear about this. Oh, you can buy a used one right here.
Oh yeah.
Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm kind of excited about it. I mean, it's not going to be something that's affordable, obviously, but it's
100
going to
grand.
be something cool that they come out with, you know?
The next car you need to buy is called the Honda N Vision 74.
I know about that.
Oh, it's
I'm
so
excited to see how
beautiful.
many they make and what they make of it, because that is an insane vehicle.
It is.
I'm also excited about Toyota's their electric, the Century, I believe it's called.
I don't care about that. This Envision 74 just looks so beautiful.
Oh, what? You don't know about the hold on. I'm gonna send you
Toyota.
this.
What is it?
It's called the Toyota Century. I'm sending it to you now over Discord. This they're remaking it as an electric vehicle. It was Japan's only V12 powered production vehicle.
Interesting.
It is so cool.
It's a
I want one
SUV.
of these. No, it is a four-door
Everything I'm seeing
uh,
is
van.
2024 Toyota Century SUV.
I just sent you the link in Discord.
Yeah, I'm looking that up too. But when I looked it up, it was that's definitely an SUV. What you sent me.
No, that is not an SUV, my friend.
That is
That is a four-door
100%.
sedan.
Oh, what?
You're looking at
Hold
the
up.
2023 model.
Yeah. What? Okay, the link you sent me, the picture was an SUV, but when I clicked on it,
Hold on.
the link was a car. Okay,
Yeah.
I
Sorry,
see.
it's Century with a U, by the way, if you guys are trying to spell it out over the internet. Um, they are remaking this as an electric vehicle. I am super excited to see what it
So,
actually becomes, because that car is crazy.
so it looks like the new one is an SUV, and the 2018 model was the car.
So the new one
Is
that they're
there?
putting out for 2026, they haven't. It's not on their website yet.
Yeah, and I'm seeing it's
That
not
one
coming
is
to the
going to
U.S.
be no, it's not, which is unfortunate. But the original didn't come to the U.S. either. Something to do with the
Nothing,
NHSBA. Yeah,
nothing
nothing
good.
cool comes to the U.S.
Yeah, I want my
Vehicle wise,
Skyline, dude.
anyways.
I want a Skyline
Oh
so bad.
God, they're illegal to port in, man. You can get an
Well, yeah,
R34 now.
for
Yeah,
100 plus
I was gonna
grand.
say for yeah.
If you want a
Oh,
GTR, which started out at
there
like
was
70, they're now 250 for one that barely runs.
that makes me so mad that the original model. So the GTR 34, or sorry, 35, where they first released in the US, they were around 65 to 80,000.
Hmm.
Now their standard MSRP is 120 to 150
And
for
they're
a
so,
non-Nismo version.
and they're
They're
not
so
even.
beautiful.
The 35s are ugly compared to the 32 to 34, though.
You don't like the 35s?
No.
I love that. So the reason I like the 35 is the styling for the outside of it was actually done by an animator who worked on the Gundam anime.
Yeah, and he messed up big.
And the internal displays, the interior displays, were made by Sony.
Oh, even worse. I'm just
No,
kidding.
what are you
I'm just
talking
kidding. I'm
about?
just kidding.
These are great. I
As-
love that. 0 to 60 time in under 2 seconds, or around 2 seconds. All-wheel drive, twin turbocharged V6. Those things were amazing.
The
And
R35?
then, yes,
Uh,
yes, the
oh, yeah.
R35, the
Just
the
under
one
3 seconds.
from, yep, 2.6, I think is what the number
2.7.
was. 2.7, still, sorry, so different. um,
I mean,
but
it
no,
is in when you're this low.
right. Those cars are amazing. Good used ones actually run around
140.
50, 60 now. No, no, for the original release, the 2006 to 2009, the original model year for them,
Oh,
they run
okay.
around 60K now, which isn't crazy. I mean, if you don't have kids and have good insurance and have a good paying job, but
They just don't. Okay, they're not as
I can't
bad.
believe you don't like the look of those. I
It's.
love the looks, all of the GTRs that have come out, all the way back to the GTT that
Uh,
came out in the 80s.
I like the
Even that,
31,
like you
honestly.
have those original Skyline lines, you know?
Yeah, the 35 just said, you know what makes a GTR a GTR? We're going to just get rid of that and just make this a curvy boy and just make it look like a Nissan Z.
That's the aerodynamics, my man. That's how
Yeah,
it gets that 2.7. Is that
I would
the
rather have it
sophisticated
look cool and
all-wheel
be
drive
slower.
system? Oh, no, I
Meanwhile,
love.
the Cybertruck that is literally just a
Oh
giant
God,
refrigerator has like a 1.9
yeah.
second.
Did you did you hear about his what is it? The SpaceX edition of the Tesla
Roadster.
coupe that's coming? Yeah, that thing.
Yeah,
That's a 0 to 60 time in 1.9 seconds or something
1.5,
crazy.
I think.
Oh my
I think
god.
it was
That's
1.5.
insane.
It's not real.
No, of course not. I don't
He
think
keeps saying stuff about it, and it's like, okay, you've been saying this for 5 years now, and you still don't even have a prototype. Like, I'm
Well, if
actually
you
gonna,
remember the original Tesla Roadsters, the ones that were based on the Lotus Elise platform, I think,
yeah,
that were
before
just
Elon bought
electrified,
it.
yeah, those were crazy fast for the time. I'm not
It
even for
wasn't
the
that
time, for now.
it wasn't that they were crazy fat. I mean, they were literally just a Lotus that they just took the motor out and threw an electric motor in.
Right, but with electric, you have to remember you have that instant torque and that instant power.
Oh
It goes
yeah,
from being off to being on, where with a naturally aspirated engine, you have to go through that rev range of getting it into the right area before it can actually go.
I'm
Hello?
looking it up.
Did I lose you?
No,
Okay.
no, I'm still here.
I didn't hear anything,
Oh,
so I was like, oh
oh,
no.
okay. Um, okay. I looked up Tesla Roadster SpaceX 0 to 60 time.
Yeah.
1.1 second.
There's no fun. There's no way.
What?
Oh my god.
That's literally a
Ah.
rocket ship.
So I'm going back to the
That's
original.
untested, obviously untested, so
Oh
it's not
yeah,
confirmed.
clearly. So now the original model Tesla Roadster, the one that came out in 2011, that
Yep.
had a 288 horsepower electric motor that lasted you for about an hour.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was just, I think it was two guys who were just like techie people who were like, oh, we
Right.
just want
Yeah.
to build an electric car.
They took it. They pulled out the engine of the Lotus Elise and put it in. Put a lithium battery. I'm trying to see what size battery it was. But the 0 to 60 time on that was 3.7 seconds, which is
It was
crazy
a
fast. Like for
mid-mounted.
288 horsepower. Oh yeah.
Interesting. It got 200 miles on a single charge, and it was the first car to use lithium-ion batteries.
Yep. That was before Elon took it over. I've seen.
Yeah.
I've actually gotten to see one of the original model Tesla
Ooh,
Roadsters.
that's so cool.
Um, we'll have to go. They down in St. Pete, they do a Cars and Coffee
Okay, I've
event
heard of it.
for from DuPont Registry, and they have so many nice things. I got to see the Bugatti Veyron, the Ferrari La Ferrari. They have
Yeah,
McLaren P1s.
the
There are
Ferrari
so
Ferrari.
many nice things. Yeah,
That's the
exactly. Yeah.
funniest name of a
I'll
car.
I'll have to try and find the photos that I took and send them to you. But yeah, there's some crazy cars around here just in the area.
Yeah, when I used to go to car meets, I used to see people pull up and like there'd just be like 6 Lambos parked next to each other. And
Yeah.
I'm like, that right there is more money than I'll make in my entire life. Just
Oh
those
yeah.
6 cars next to each other. There used to be a guy, I don't know, I mean, I haven't seen him in years, but he had a Lamborghini and he would buy eBay parts and put them on. So his rims came from eBay, and he thought it was the funniest thing to just put
I
eBay
mean, why
parts
not?
on a Lamborghini. I mean, he was some rich dude who just had a bunch of free time and liked cars. So he would just buy random eBay parts and put them on his fucking Lamborghini, dude.
I mean, I'd do it if I had a Lambo. Hell
Like
yeah.
plastic rims on like a $1 million car.
Why not?
Exactly. All right, we went off on a tangent.
Sorry about that.
All good. We talked about the PS5 and its insane pricing. One cool thing is that it is bringing PSSR. Some people calling it the pusser. Which is the PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution, which is essentially NVIDIA DLSS or AMD FSR, but on console. So it's the first console to have essentially AI upscaling, which is a really cool feature.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
It is cool. I think Xbox said they are working on a version, but they don't have any announcements or anything on it. The Xbox version is called DirectSR, I believe. It is available in a preview model, but it's not available for the general public or anything. What else? What else? So yeah, $700. Disk drive is 80. Vertical SAN is 30. Slightly better GPU, has AI built in. And what was the third thing? Let me look here because it had the big three. Oh, better ray tracing was the number 3 of the big 3 things that they announced. It's essentially a money grab because they can. So I mean, for people who are into it, like streamers and stuff who stream off PS5s, it could be worth it. But I would say for the average person, don't bother. And then I have a couple other stories that I'm going to just quickly run through. Xbox has a new studio, Activision studio partnership, or I guess Xbox owns Activision, but a new studio called Elsewhere Entertainment. They just expanded hiring, so they are hiring across more countries. It's over in, I want to say Poland, and they just said they are hiring in Sweden right now, so they're hiring more people over there. Expanding up a new company, a new studio, so that's cool. Moving on to another story, Steam Families. Are you aware of that?
No, go on with Steam Families.
So Steam Families is essentially you can add 4 people onto your Steam account as a family members. And once you do that, you can essentially share games for free among those people.
That's pretty cool.
Anything you buy, they can play. If I'm not mistaken, okay, it's up to 6 players. And you can play even if the other people are playing it, I think. No. Okay. So however many copies are among those family members, that's how many people can play it. So say if there's 6 people in a family and 2 of them own a copy of a game, any 2 people in the family can play that game, but only up to 2 people. You'd have to buy a 3rd copy in order to play 3 players on the family. But you can share it among as many people as you want. That feature was in beta, but is now in public domain. Not public domain. Wide use, available for everyone. Out of beta, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. I'm just trying to see if there's anything else on it. So yeah, if you have friends and you play Steam and you like to play a lot of single player games, it's a cool feature. Multiplayer games, you do have to buy your own copies, or get in a family that has people with multiple copies that don't play often. But cool feature. And then the last story I have, it's kind of a meme story. You remember Flappy Bird?
Of course, yeah.
Remember how it got delisted and you can't download it now and it's been forever and all that stuff?
Yeah.
The original developer came out and said that he's going to come out with Flappy Bird again.
Oh, good for him. He made a bunch of money. The reason he took it off was because he was receiving too many threats against his life, I hear.
That sounds about right for the internet. But essentially, they said it's going to launch in fall 2024 onto multiple platforms. Oh, wait. This is confusing. Flappy Bird is making a comeback and launching in fall 2024 onto multiple platforms with an iOS and Android release planned for 2025. Okay. Not quite sure what they mean by multiple platforms and then not having iOS and Android included in that.
Well,
So
it might
probably
be multiple platforms like
Steam, Xbox,
and Steam,
Yeah, so that would be interesting. Oh my gosh. I apologize for everybody who is listening because every picture that he has sent me has made a giant ding.
Oh no, has it? No,
Yes.
I haven't heard of that. No.
Yes, every
not on
single
my
one.
end. I'm not hearing anything.
Well, yeah, because you're not listening to the podcast. So if you've heard like
true.
10 dings, it's because he's just sending me pictures.
I'm sending you pictures of stuff that I've seen at this we need to go to this car show that I'm sending you. The Koenigsegg CCX, Saleen S7, Tesla Roadster, McLaren P1, Aston 177, the multi-million dollar vehicles at this one location that they let you get right up next to. Some of these photos are actually me sitting in the driver's seat. Not that I could
Yeah.
ever afford such a thing, but
Yeah. So, to make you feel old, Flappy Bird got taken down off all stores over 10 years ago.
wow, that was 10. Jeez.
February 2014. So the creator, Don Nugent, he took it down because, I mean, it doesn't say he got death threats, but it just says that he pulled the plug after realizing that turning millions of people into obsessed bird tappers wasn't his vision of game design.
Yeah.
So there is now a Flappy Bird Foundation, and they are the ones that announced the triumphant return. They haven't announced which platforms, just that it's coming back to multiple platforms and iOS and Android 2025. So people are, of course, speculating and all that good stuff.
Oh yeah.
We'll see how that is. I don't really care. The original creator won $0 on it because he didn't re-up the trademark.
Oh
so
no.
Game Tech Holdings LLC filed a trademark and won it out from underneath them.
Oh, that stinks.
Oh man, that is rough. Oh man. Yeah, so okay. It goes into more detail. It wasn't because of death threats. It was because he felt enormous guilt over having people become so addicted to his game that he couldn't sleep.
Oh, sure.
That's what he officially said on his stuff. Game Tech Holdings, which is a new company that stole it out from underneath him, said they are going to add in more dark patterns, including like loot boxes and predator design. Well, I mean, they didn't say that, but
Right.
it's gonna be gotcha hell.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, the creator came out and said that he hates it. That was in 2014, obviously. So,
Right.
I wonder if he's posted. I'm gonna go to the creator's Twitter and see if he's posted anything in the last 10 years. His last post was from 2017, so yeah, not really. He released a couple games in 2017, which is his last post, or just about that game. But yeah, that was all of my stories. Do you have anything else before we wrap it up?
No, that's everything I had. All the news that fit to print.
Nice. So yeah, we went over some good stuff. Then we fell onto some tangents about cars and how I can't believe that you think the R35 is so good looking.
Bro, I'm so mad at you. I don't know how we're still friends right now.
Okay, I have a question. Do you know the Hyundai Ioniq 6?
Yes, I was actually thinking about getting the Ioniq 6 GT, I think, or the Ioniq Q GT, whatever the electric version was.
Okay, the 6 is the ugliest car that's ever been made.
I don't know.
The
I've seen some ugly
5
cars, man.
The 5 is the most beautiful car ever made, and I don't know how they went from 5 to 6. I think the 5 is the one that has the GT. I don't know if the 6 has the GT out yet. Or no. The 6 I think has GT. The 5 has the N.
Oh, right, because they were doing that N model thing for a while.
Yeah, which essentially adds 50 more horsepower to an already insane little hatchback.
Oh, yeah.
I want that car so bad, dude. It's like 60 grand too for the N model, which is
Yep.
a good price for a performance hatchback electric.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't have 60 grand, so.
Same.
But anyways, looks like this might be the last episode because we can't get over the R35. So
We'll try to work something out. I don't
Yeah,
know. We'll
we'll
figure
work it
it
out.
out.
And we'll see you guys next week on Thursday at 7 p.m.
Yep. Have a good rest of your week, guys.
Don't forget to check out all the social media feeds, Standout Media or Standout Media podcasts, pretty much anywhere now. And then Mr. Jantix and Rozoku on Twitter, I think.
Twitter, Instagram. I'm on everything as Rozoku.
Yeah, I'm on everything as Mr. Jantix as well. Trying to get it expanded a little bit more. And yeah, we'll be back. Wait, will we be back next week?
We should, unless you have anything going on.
There was something coming up that I think I'm gonna have to miss for, but I don't think it's anytime soon.
Okay.
But yeah, next week 7:00, which means like 7:10. You know, the usual. And yeah, we will see you guys next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.